And we'll talk a little bit more about the NFL controversy. President Trump calling on the NFL to prohibit kneeling during the national anthem. He tweeted this morning. Take a look. The booing at the NFL football game last night when the entire Dallas team dropped to its knees was loudest I have ever heard. Great anger. And he also tweeted, ratings for NFL football are way down except before game starts when people tune in to see whether or not our country will be disrespected. A former Trump Hispanic Advisory Council member Steve Cortez joins us now. He's also a Fox News contributor and also syndicated radio host and Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Good morning. Steve, I'll start with you. Did you see any of Monday night's football game? The entire Dallas team, along with their owner, Jerry Jones, they kneeled before the national anthem. Then they stood up, and then directly across the field, you had the Arizona team all standing, linking arms. What do you think?
Well, I did not see it. I'll tell you, for the first time in, I believe, 40 years, I didn't watch 1 minute of NFL football this weekend. I'm a football fanatic, but frankly, I can't stand the disrespect, and I'm not going to give them my viewership and effectively my money. I think what the president has done here, which I think is brilliant, and he does so well, is he's giving voice to working class, regular Americans, cops, military members, football fans, who are tired of the condescension and really the disrespect that we so often see from the elites of our society, whether they're in Hollywood or the news media or, in this case, big-time sports. Instead of their indignation, what I think those elites should be showing to us, the American people, is gratitude that they live in such an amazing country that has so enabled their success.
You know, Leslie, I'm a huge football fan as well. The Carolina Panthers are my team. I know that there were several people that were ready to walk out if any of them had kneeled at their game over the weekend. They did not. One of the players stayed in the locker room during the national anthem and then came out afterwards. What do you think is going on here?
Well, I think, quite frankly, first of all, I stand for the national anthem. I put my hand over my heart, and that is my choice, which my father, who fought in the Korean War, and other people in my family and the wonderful men and women in our military fight for my freedom to choose to do. Also, the First Amendment clearly protects those who are peacefully protesting. What this is not is violence. What this is not is hatred of our country, and I think it's being portrayed that way. If you listen to the original reason that somebody did this, originally, when you look back to Colin Kaepernick or Kaepernick, I'm a football fan of that team. I'm a Patriots fan from Boston. The bottom line is they don't like the direction of their country. And I must say, as the mother of a 9- and 10-year-old who are asking me what son of a bee means, because the president of the United States tweeted that and is talking about football and people being fired for expressing their First Amendment right. He is the president of all people, those who stand and those who kneel, and that's what makes America wonderful.
That is true, but a couple things here, Steve. Do you think that the message is different now? Leslie mentioned Kaepernick and the original message, but now do you think that they've gotten so far off of that, off message, that perhaps we need to stop it now? And then the other question that I have, do you think everyone is treated equally when it comes to, you know, what they want to speak up against or they want to do something?
Right. Look, I would say in terms of Kaepernick, by the way, before we try to canonize him, he may have had some legitimate points. He also wore a pair of socks which portrayed cops as pigs. So that's the genesis of this movement, and let's be honest about that. I think what's really unfair here is that once again we're seeing identity politics rip this country apart. The left has exploited and used identity politics for its own purposes and sometimes to win elections, but it's corrosive to the fabric of our American society. And I will tell you, as an Hispanic who knows President Trump, who worked very hard for his election, this man is no bigot. He is not prejudiced. He cares for and loves all Americans. He wants prosperity and equality for them, just as we all do. And that flag represents the perfect ideals that a very imperfect country is striving toward. And so we should never disrespect those principles as embodied by that flag.
And fans go to these games to watch a game, Leslie. So how do we resolve this, or is this just going to continue?
I think this is going to continue. I mean, President Trump said he was going to unite the country. He hasn't. We have an incredible increase in the past year in violent crime. North Korea has taken what he said as a declaration of war, and people are starving in Puerto Rico. He needs to do his job. He was not elected by the people to decide who's to be fired in professional sports or not. And if anybody who disagrees with him is to be fired, that is not what makes America beautiful, and that is not a unifier. It's a divider. And I feel that the country is becoming more and more divided. We're seeing people take a stand, take a knee just this morning, hashtag on Twitter. And I think that's sad for the future of America. He has an opportunity here to be the president and the leader of the free world and to unite this country. And I think he's failing in that with these juvenile posts.
And there's differences of opinion as to who is actually causing, you know, the people to be pulled apart. But in the meantime, you know, President Trump, he does seem to be backed by the majority of people who say they don't want to mix politics with football. So we'll see what happens. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.